I was going to get onto diet specifically later on, but you talked there about probiotics. Not surprisingly, we've had questions about kimchi and various other possibly things such as kombucha, sourdough breads, fermented foods, and so on. Have you got anything that you can say about that? Obviously, that is a generic sort of prescription, if you like.
Yeah.
Are they good?
Yeah. So the first thing that I would say about probiotics is, so probiotic is by definition is a live bacteria that has a proven health benefit, right? And we've been taking them for thousands of years, in fermented milk, and they're very well known and very well established. And having them as part of your regular diet and regular intake is a good thing. It improves the diversity of your microbes. So, sauerkraut or kimchi, although we don't technically call them probiotics because by definition they're not, because there's variations in the particular strains that are found within them, they do have health benefits, and I regularly recommend my patients take them because it improves the diversity of the gut if taken with a high fiber diet. So generally they're pretty good, and we probably should consume more of them. We don't take probiotics very well in because we're not really taught to take them very well. So what I mean by that is the majority of the strains that come in direct to consumer probiotic products are not actually designed to live in the human gut. So these are microbes that have been found outside of the gut, like in fermenting milk, for example, and therefore to keep them in the gut, you've got to take them regularly. You've got to take them every day. And if you're trying to have a health benefit, you've got to take them for at least 12 weeks, because if you don't, they won't colonize the gut. They won't grow there, and they won't have their health benefit. So if you're taking them intermittently every other day and you're not really taking them for a sustained amount of time, they won't have a health benefit. The second thing is, if you're taking them and you're feeling bloated, you're having pain, you don't feel well, stop taking them. Like, I have a lot of people that turn up at my clinic and they're still taking these things, and actually they're consuming them thinking that they're having a health benefit. If they're making you feel unwell, don't take them. There's absolutely no need, and they're very unlikely to. Perhaps the other problem that we have is that we're very bad at selectively targeting them, which means that clinicians quite often don't have the information that they really need to give these in a very specific way. So, for example, in Matthew's case, giving very particular strains where we know that there is a proven health benefit. And that's probably a failure of education. It's also a failure in the way that probiotic companies engage with clinicians and consumers and how they start to educate them. That has not been done at all well. We have a lot of bad marketing speak that we adopt, like good and bad bacteria. There is no such thing as good and bad bacteria. It's complete nonsense. There are pathogens that cause harm, that cause disease, and there are symbionts. If you treat your symbionts badly enough with the wrong diet, or you hit them with antibiotics, they'll cause you harm. All microbes could be harmful under the right circumstances. But coming back to the probiotic theme, the other thing that I would say is that we're now getting a next generation of probiotics where we are beginning to discover microbes that have been discovered within the human gut, that are supposed to be in the human gut, and that we consistently see missing in human studies of chronic diseases like obesity, ulcerative colitis, asthma, and all the rest of it. So a good example of that would be Akkermansia muciniphila. So you can now start to see these commercial preparations coming online. If you go onto Amazon, you can buy them. Again, there's very little trials data to support their use. Quite often, the cart is going before the horse, but increasingly we do try and use them in a more targeted way. And the other thing that I would say is that what we've got coming over the horizon is what I would call next generation probiotics, which are really not going to be probiotics in the traditional sense. So at the moment, probiotics are technically foodstuffs. They're regulated as foods. But the next generation will be regulated as drugs. So these are microbes that are going to be dosed in a very particular way for very specific indications, and that will have a very specific set of toxicities and side effects and risks. And they will be regulated by the MHRA in the UK or the FDA in the USA. And that's exciting, I think. You're finally going to get these products that are going to have a proven efficacy and that will be easier to be administered to patients and to consumers alike.